All right, I don't need to tell you that Spider-Man games are rubbish, yeah?
What about Spider-Man 2 on the PS2?
All right, yes, except for Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. But the others are all bobbins because Spider-Man is clearly the best superhero with the best superpowers.
What about Batman?
Being rich isn't a superpower, Bruce, sit down. There's a new Spider-Man game coming out in May based on the movie The Amazing Spider-Man 2 starring tennis ace Andy Murray. Will this be the first good Spider-Man game in ages, or are they going to get it wrong again for like the 15th time in a row? As the world's foremost Spider-Man authority, I think I know what they need to do to fix Spider-Man games. So let's have a look, see if they're on the right track. Listen up, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the video game developer Beanox. The main thing you want to do in a Spider-Man game is swing around New York like Tarzan in a morph suit. Spider-Man 2 got this super right, so does it look like its sort of namesake The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to get it right as well? From what we've seen so far, like this on screen now, it's looking good. Spider-Man's web's now attached to the buildings themselves rather than invisible boxes in the sky. I hate that. And in a why didn't we think of this before move, left trigger and right trigger now correspond to Spidey's left and right hands. Like that. So if you want to latch onto a building on the left, use the left trigger. Want to latch onto a building on the right, use the right trigger. Thwip.
And if there's no building around or nothing to attach to, well, you'll fall.
There are also other Spidey moves for you to use, like wall running, catapult, and web rush, which slows down time and allows you to pinpoint a location for Spider-Man to jump to. Just call me Peter Parkour, right guys? Boo yourself. Let me come over there. Besides navigation, the big challenge is making the city feel alive, because no matter how good the web swinging is, no one wants to swing around inside a big sterile box. From this gameplay, New York in Amazing Spider-Man 2 ain't no Liberty City, so that's less promising. Despite this, it looks like we might be getting the best web slinging since Spider-Man 2 PS2. Presumably this also means no web slinging in Central Park, because no tall buildings, and you can just get a taxi or one of those nice horse-drawn carriages. They're good as well. Another thing I've always wanted to do is be Peter Parker. Not in real life, because he's an awkward nerd. Not like me. I mean, in a game, obviously. Part of the reason Spider-Man is so great is that his alter ego is just a nerdy kid with money issues, girl problems, and isn't just a cool skater, handsome guy with good hair.
You're a wanted man, Peter Parker.
You don't believe what the police are saying, do you?
Okay, so there is a problem in the Amazing Spider-Man movies that Peter Parker is a cool, skater, handsome guy with good hair. But the game is doing something different, at least, than allowing you to play as Peter Parker. It's not entirely clear what Peter's role is this time. You can poke around Aunt May's house if that's your idea of a good time, you intrusive weirdo. And there are also photography missions for you to undertake, although it would be good to have a bit more variety this time. What I'd love is some actual missions as Peter, doing detective work and social stealth, like blending into places where Spider-Man can't go because he's a hugely recognizable celebrity superhero. Spider-Man is a smart superhero. He uses detective skills, science, and intuition to solve crimes. And I want to see more of that in the video game. I don't want him to just be a backflipping punch machine. The villains are more of a kind of a general problem for Spider-Man because he just doesn't have as strong a rogues gallery as, say, someone like Batman. His most famous villains are Doc Ock, okay, not bad. Lizard, yeah, okay. Green Goblin, sure. No. 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 That's just the actor Willem Dafoe. No. That's James Franco. That's the Green Goblin again. More villains doesn't necessarily mean a better game. Give us villains that have character and motivation and a reason for being there instead of just Venom chucking cars around again. See, that's what the Arkham games did so well with Joker. They had a main story with a main villain in the form of Joker, and then they had other villains like Penguin and Two-Face, and their stories were in service of the main story, and they tied everything together. Despite how rubbish these villains are, yep, the comics have done some interesting stories with them. It's time for the video games to do the same. Kingpin's in the gameplay demo, and Kraven turns up in the trailer, although it looks like he's helping Spider-Man this time. Could be interesting. Another thing the Spider-Man games are obsessed with doing is making you play as other Spider-Mans. Spider-Men, whichever. Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir, Ultimate Spider-Man, Diet Spider-Man, Wild Cherry Spider-Man, probably. There are more Spider-Mans than there have been members of the Avengers, and they're all not as good as plain old regular Spider-Man classic. Unfortunately, it looks like this will be the case again in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, as evidenced by Peter's closet full of Spider-Man suits, and these are apparently going to give you different bonuses and stat boosts when you wear them.
Each suit will have different stats and bonuses attached to it, allowing you to choose which one fits best your playstyle.
Maybe it's just me, but I don't get this. Who is excited about playing as Ricochet? Who wants to play Dusk or Prodigy?
Who's Dusk and Prodigy?
It's really dumb. If you buy a Spider-Man game, it stands to reason you want to play as Spider-Man. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't wear the badass-looking black suit if I was given the option, but making the goofy-looking Hornet costume better than the classic red and blue is a crime. And you know you're just going to want to wear the suit that's got the best stats. Spider-Man is all about his awesome, unusual powers. Now, everyone can fly and shoot lasers, but not everyone can sprint up the side of a skyscraper. Video games are the perfect place to make the most of these powers. Batman's detective vision and the counter warning he gets in the Arkham games are basically exactly Spider-Man's spider sense, so it's not stealing for Beanox to have them in their Amazing Spider-Man games. No, it's not.
Really?
No, it's not.
Sure.
Yes. The Arkham influence also extends to the level design. Beanox favour non-linear approaches to the levels now, so you can go in quiet and stealthy or screaming and firing webs everywhere, if that's your bag. Spider-Man's powers also mean you have to think about level design differently if you want to make the most of them. I want to see interiors where you can stick to the walls and ceiling without it being hugely disorientating and rubbish. That may sound like a joke, but it's genuinely one of the most difficult things to get right, and one of the few things stopping Spider-Man games from feeling like actual Spider-Man games. You can now rappel down on webs and do inverted takedowns on people, which is great, and you can also stick to the walls and do takedowns on people against the walls, which is something unique to Spider-Man. So it's good times. So those are the things I think Beanox needs to do to fix Spider-Man games. It looks like they're on the right track with some of them, others less so. I guess we'll find out for sure when the game releases next month. In the meantime, leave in the comments the things you want to see in a Spider-Man game, and we'll see you next time on Outside Xbox. There's that identity crisis thing where he becomes 4 different superheroes because he can't be Spider-Man anymore. It's Ricochet, Dusk, Prodigy, and Hornet are the 4 different identities, and they're all crap. Hornet is just, he's got little, like, dragonfly wings.
Okay. So you can fly?